Okay, so with the Rodeo, we have a 10 litre tank, and with the F200, we have a 5.5 litre tank with the 10 litre main tank at the bottom. With the Rodeo, we have a full harness that's detachable, and you can do your kiting with your full harness. With the F200, you've got an integrated harness, which obviously is a lot lighter because it utilizes the skeleton to keep its shape instead of extra material. But there will be some improvements, not improvements, but options that'll come to the F200 for the guys that are doing cross-country flying. Padded backplate will be available pretty soon, and that will make it very comfortable for cross-country flying. So, same engines, 125 centimeter propeller, set, 3-blade, can go to 2-blade as well on the Rodeo. On the F200, you can fly either 2-blade or 3-blade. I prefer flying a 2-blade. It's a 130 centimeter propeller. Now you can get the options to take smaller frames. That's for shorter guys and for I would say the average lady. Not all ladies are average, but if you're a shorter lady, the smaller 115 frame is really nice to have because it just makes even though these machines are light, if the frame is still big, it's still not as nice an experience as it would be if the machine is light, plus you've got a smaller frame and you've saved a bit of weight as well. Okay, on the F200, you've got a lot more accessibility to your engine. You can remove the backplate and you can have access to everything. Your primer, your fuel lines, your primer lines. It's really made for the guy that wants to do fly camping or going out there, and if he experiences any problem, he can really easily, with a minimum amount of tools, he can fix it, which is also why I got a little toolkit here strapped to the side on Velcro. I can fix it wherever I go if I've got a problem. Not that I'm actually going to need to fix it because Dun 3 Icarus has never had a breakdown. Okay, you've got a scoop or a shroud over the cylinder on the F200. Reason for that is just to increase cooling because we are expecting the kind of client that'll buy an F200 to be the kind of guy that'll be flying an advanced glider eventually, but we're pushing it to its max, and therefore cooling is increased there. If you fly the Rodeo 3-blade, you're never gonna need a shroud. And I doubt it if you need to order instruments to come with it. But spaces are available to make it a 2-blade as well. And we've seen there is a video available on one of either my channel or the North American channel which showcases the Rodeo 200 versus the Ranger, which is a 230cc engine, and it outclimbed the Ranger. Same glider, everything was within the specification of making it as equal as possible in the comparison. And I would say the F200 flying, the Rodeo 200 flying as a 2-blade is incredibly powerful, but you are running higher temperatures, so you're not going to be doing it for extremely long periods of time. If you're flying a 3-blade, if you're planning on flying a 3-blade, you can get up to 7,000 RPM with your 3-blade configuration, which kind of is counterproductive in the reasoning why you would want to fly a 2-blade, because 7,000 RPM is already a very sweet spot when it comes to flying or powering up heavy guys. I would actually say that it's not quite necessary to go 2-blade on the Rodeo. I think it's great as it is. If you're flying a 3-blade configuration, it really isn't necessary to take all the extra instruments, which is why standard it comes without the Engadget. If you are going to order the spacers and you're like a slalom pilot, or you're someone that's going to look for that extra performance, and you want that machine to go up to 7,500 RPM for some reason, max power kind of situation, then it's already prepared to take the Engadget. So all you have to do is or to tell your dealer that you want the Engadget and the temperature sensor, and so the exhaust gas temperature sensor is just then a plug-and-play unit that is added to the Rodeo. So it's already prepared for you guys that want max power. Why would I take the F200? It doesn't have an integrated harness. Doesn't have the high hang point harness that we know and love from the Rodeo. So why do I personally prefer the F200? I like the range. I like having the extra fuel tank as a cross-country machine. I do a lot of flying, but I do like the feel of the Rodeo as well. So the real only solution there is to have both. I would like this machine from a sport flying perspective. So if I'd like to play in the afternoons, do some tight turn spirals, 2 hour, no more than an hour and a half flying that kind of playing in the afternoon. this is the machine that I would pick, especially with a single folding frame. There's a new folding frame coming from Nirvana. It's going to be available pretty soon. It's going to be simpler, and I'm not quite sure what the netting is going to look like. It's in prototype stage, actually in testing stage already. And so this is a package that is really lightweight and can fold up for traveling sake in a very small soft bag. So it's now become competitive with the F200. The F200 was originally created for mobility. Very small bag, semi-box or a bag, and you can take it on your travels with you. The Rodeo with a single frame can do it. The old Rodeo with a double frame, and if you order this one with a double frame, will have 2 different package sets, which is more bags to travel with. But with a single frame, it now becomes competitive in the mobility section of the comparison. It really is difficult, guys. You're going to save a bunch of money by buying the Rodeo, but for the dedicated cross-country pilot, the specialist, the guy that likes to custom every single thing on his machine, the F200 is worth the spend for me. It is carbon fiber. You can get titanium exhaust on it, which is brilliant, but it's pricey. I, for example, and you'll note this, maybe see these little things, this is now made out of standard Nirvana parts, and it is the tandem setup that pretty much just bolts on. It's now a foot launch tandem machine that I use it for as well, and it takes me less than 2 minutes to take it off. So this is the swing arm configuration. So the F200 uses swing arms, but mine is set up for high hang points, you can fly at low hang points. So it's a machine that's customizable for the market. Low hang points, weight shifting, high hang points, cross-country flying, twist air paddles for anti-torque, where the Rodeo doesn't have that anti-torque, but it's got an anti-torque belt. So both are very different. I would, if I'm a sport pilot just doing afternoon playing and flying, and I'm not going to be doing any super long-range flying, I take the Rodeo, hands off. Why would I take the F200? If I'm a low hang points pilot, I'll take the F200. If I'm a super long range cross country pilot, I'll take the cross country version, and I'd be happy. You will get better fuel burn on the F200, guaranteed. It's got a 130 centimeter prop, but if you're going to fly the Rodeo with a 3-blade, the fuel consumption is going to be comparable between the 2 units. As far as the 2-blade configuration, flying high-powered advanced glider on the F200, you'll burn up to 4 liters an hour. The Rodeo 3-blade, you can get as good numbers as 2.7, but work on 3.2 to 3.5. It depends on what glider you fly, obviously, and how small that glider is and how fast you're flying it. So there's a lot of other variables that come into play. On the 3-blade F200, my trim's closed on the warp, measured over hours worth of flying. I get 1.9 liters an hour with a 130 centimeter prop. You're looking at getting that same number. The lowest fuel consumption possible on this machine would be closer to 2.5 because it's a 125 centimeter prop. So that was everything in a nutshell. Same engines, same technology, and it's a difficult pick. So the one's cheaper than the other. Guys, what else can I say? Electric start, one start stop ignitions. They really made this value for money. They made the Rodeo value for money, and that's why it's flying off the shelves. They can't keep up with production. They're actually bringing people out of retirement at Nirvana to make enough units to sell when it comes to the Rodeo. So this is really a game changer. And to be honest, I'd like to own one as well, but I won't sacrifice my F200. This is still providing me some specialized abilities which this cannot offer me at this present time, but it's because I'm a specialized pilot doing some super long range flying. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions, let one of us know. There's quite a bunch of us experts out there, and I'll forward the comments to the best expert that we have that can answer you, obviously. Thank you very much for watching the video, and see you in the next one.